I get taken out of movies when I feel the animation and the special effects. So everything for us was about level of detail, realism.
We had a phenomenal team of creative artists sort of figuring out how to bring this movie to life.
All that attention to detail and texture helps you have a more complete experience when you're watching the movie.
It was about 2,500 visual effect shots, and I think it was 3,200 cuts for the film. Every year that goes by, we keep on relying more and more and more on the tools. And the beautiful thing is we continue to create the efficiencies of the digital era. We utilize everything that is up to date and more, but I think that probably the old Peggy took the longest to do. Absolutely on par with some of the most difficult shots of the helicarrier battle.
We wanted to preserve Hayley Atwell in the film. She was such an important part of the first film, and we wanted to kind of keep that character going.
You're alive.
What was really hard was how do you keep her beauty and her essence and not take away from the fact that she would be 91.
Initially we tried to do it with makeup, and by the time you're keep putting more and more makeup on Hayley's face, the thicker it becomes and more restrictive to her performance. And then we finally got to the point where no matter what we tried, it was always limiting.
I can't laugh because my neck might fall off, which is not something you hear every day.
We had this kind of idea in the back of our heads that an older actress that recreates Hayley's performance and then take the older actress's performance and then map that to Hayley Atwell's performance. So you actually still have Hayley.
We wrote out the eyes, we wrote out the mouth and the nose, and this is all Hayley. And the rest of the face was this old woman. And we hit play. And we're like, holy cow, it actually worked.
It's been so long. So long.
Everybody has a digital double just in case. I think it's important to have the flexibility.
That process basically is we're taking the actors, putting them in costumes, and then getting a 3D scanner. Then they can take those measurements and then put them into the computer and build have a digital version that they build the CG model off of. There's a physicality to what the Falcon had to do when he flew. A lot of the aerodynamics we just couldn't get with wire work. So you'll see as he's flying around and dodging the missiles and dodging the bullets or firing at him, a lot of times that becomes a digital version.
Seeing Mackey's flight was pretty cool. I didn't know how they were going to do that, CG-wise. That was great.
I did a lot of diving into swimming pools. So I would go up 10 feet, 20 feet and dive off of diving boards. And just to get that feeling. It's a lot of effects and CGI, but also it's a lot of me and my stunt guy, Aaron Toney, just flying around on cables.
We had a lot of studies about how big birds fly, as well as airplanes. It's a deadly bird. He's a weapon in his own right, so he has to operate with the efficiency of a weapon.
And then you get into the helicarriers, and they're bigger than the ones in the Avengers. They're armored now, so we spend a lot of time kind of looking up, what kind of different armaments they might have, what kind of weapons they would have, and then how those weapons could play with our characters. So you'll see, the helicarriers have giant deck guns, they have missile launchers, they have gun emplacements for any kind of incoming missiles. They can shoot missiles out of the air.
For all the exterior shots, we shot in a massive shippers transport down in LA where all the 18-wheelers bring their trailers and drop them off and pick them up. And we had a huge green screen there.
The hardest part was to convey 3 incredibly large ships up in the sky that were going at it. And we kept thinking, how are we going to pull this one off?
One of the first things we did was we sort of mapped it all out. Despite all the chaos, every shot we're trying to tell a story with the shot. Like, okay, in this shot, an engine's being hit. Okay, but that's the engine on this carrier. And that's what causes it to stall out a little bit. And then that causes this carrier to get above it. And so that's what makes it really complicated, because if there's, 50 or 100 shots, there's a progression of damage for each of the carriers. We were up close on the deck with them, and then we were in wide shots, and they were firing, and they were being destroyed. So there was just a huge amount of destruction, a huge amount of detail and paintwork and geometry that went into everything. For the fight between Winter Soldier and Captain America in the belly of the ship in the surveillance hub, that was like 3 very small green screen set pieces that were then combined with CG, and then we extended that.
Some days, you fret because you go like, it's a great concept. We have talented people from everywhere in the world trying to help you, but can you pull it off? And I think over and over, we just continue to wow ourselves in the fact that thank God for the thousands of people around the world that put all their creative juices together and we get all this beautiful imagery. We're very, very, very lucky.